What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol NNDM for Nano Dimensions Inc. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First things first, this will be more of an update. You can see we've covered it recently, and the key development, at least into the post-market here, is that we'll likely be opening on some sort of small gap up. I'll show the extended hour session, and you can clearly see big move to the upside here happening after the bell rang for market close. So for the sake of today's video, we'll assume that the open will be here around $6.69 and that the overnight high will be up here towards our $6.89 mark. Remember, a lot can happen between now and 9:30, but this is going to give us a framework which we can use to navigate the bell when it actually rings tomorrow at 9:30. So all things considered, we'll look on over at the 30-minute chart. Actually, let's do the daily. I'm sorry. We'll do the daily. So looking at the daily time frame chart, the first thing we have to consider whenever we're dealing with a gap up or down for that sake is the fact that we could get a gap and trap, right? So if we open here, fail to take out the overnight high and trade back down through the open, we're looking for the gap to fill and a short to fill that gap down here towards today's high, right around 650. Let's mark that in with an official level at 648. Now, don't get me wrong. Are we actually looking to short this thing? No. If we go to the trade tab, you can clearly see it's hard to borrow the shares, and the put volume over here is not fantastic at all. I would steer clear from the short side and just avoid longs, right? So that's what I mean by going short, essentially NNDM. You're just not going long. When we get to the gap fill, that's where you start to say, okay, are we going to print a hammer candle down here? And again, this would happen on an intraday time frame, but hammer candle, indecision doji, basically anything that would make you question, are we going to have a gap fill reversal? That would happen at $6.48. The one thing that I would like you to at least consider is that because of the numbers which we've outlined so far are so close to market structure from the daily perspective, you can see that as of right now, the open would be very close to this prior area of resistance here, and the overnight high is also very close to this area of resistance here to probably use this structure as opposed to the open as well as the overnight high, simply because I think the structure is going to have much more of a reactionary feel as opposed to just the overnight data, right? So that's my 2 cents on that. So I'd really be watching for longs up and over. Let's talk about the flip side, right? The gap and go. That would be something like this, right? If we open here, hold up in this range, and then break out over 7, that's your gap and go. I'd probably argue the bump in the road is going to be here at 740, and then after that, you can see, just looking at some of those candles, that this was a very emotional move to the downside. The next major area of resistance is kind of up here, talking from a prior pivot in there at $8.41. Now, am I saying that it's going to go there all in one day, all in 1 week? Absolutely not. But from a structural perspective, that's the number to be watching if we can get up and over $7.28. So I hope this framework was useful. Again, just treat these as your over and under levels here at $6.64, as well as up here close to 7. Nice round psychological number. You have over and you also have under. As we know, we're just avoiding longs in the case that we actually get the breakdown of the open, on the failure to take out the overnight high. The last thing I'll leave you with is if I scrunch up this 30-minute intraday time frame chart, take out the support trendline tool and go from the lows, connecting some of our dots like this. This could be coming into play if we get more of that gap and trap scenario and there is some downside activity. You can see anchor, touch 1, 2, as well as 3 into the end of the day today. If we pull back into it, right, if we get that under, fill the gap and come into this area here, start looking out again for hammer candles, indecision dojis, basically anything that would make you question, is the pullback coming to an end? Can we get long at the support trendline, tight risk with a stop just underneath, long over the highs to get back into some of the upside targets which we've discussed from today's video. So I hope this was useful here on NNDM. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know down below in the comment section or by giving it a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description, and all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.